So now we will try to understand the residual method of valuation. I had shared the notes of Ananya. What is the purpose of knowing this method, the residual method of valuation? If you think of making a development in a place, you also need to know that you have to get the return. So first the step is you have to acquire land. So when you will think of acquiring land, you will have to pay for it. If you are to pay for it, you have to understand what will you get as return from the land. So maybe some other developments are surrounding it, and at time t0, that is when you are trying to make your decision, you can see when you are trying to make your decision at that time t0, you have to look into or you have to foresee what kind of return you can get from the property. So mostly you have to build up the property in the land, but prior to building up you need to know that what is the expected costs involved in developing that land into a sellable property. Now this property can be a sellable or it can be rentable. Rent, if it is rent, you have to know what is the rent which is prevalent in the surrounding areas. So if you are going to acquire a plot here, it will be abutting some road maybe. So the adjoining properties which are there, you have to understand the price. So if there is a property existing, you have to know what kind of rent they are getting or what kind of price per square feet or per square meter is being obtained. So you will get similar kind of value when you are also going to put it on rent. So you have to know how much square feet you are going to build, and then from that you have to get into the costs, the details, and have to find out what kind of return you will get. So if you are investing on that land, if you are going to build up something, you have to know under what time frame you are going to build it up. So at time t0, standing at time t0, you are taking a decision when, if you say you are taking a project for say 2.5 years, you will require some first 6 months to go through the basics, that is initiating the basic things. That is, you need to prepare plan, you have to acquire the land, you have to do survey, you have to do soil testing, you have to submit to the municipality, you have to pay the fees. So all these kind of costs which is on the y-axis are to be considered. So in the 6-month period expected, you are going to do all these things and you are going to invest X amount of money. So then comes the construction phase. So initially it will be foundation and procuring material, etc., and every 3 months every 3 months, if you break it up, your entire time period of 1.5 years say, you will actually end up into a cost which is very difficult to predict at time t0, but you can actually make a rough average or a thumb rule and find out that this is the volume of money you are going to invest during this period at an uniform rate. And after that actually is some properties you will have to advertise also, some properties will be sold out, some properties will be taken as rent, and then you will have to wait for the entire thing to be sold out. Maybe 50%, 60% of the items are getting sold while it is in the process of construction, but some part will remain. But for that you have to pay for the common facilities. Say if it is an apartment block, there are 30 units of which 20 are sold, 10 are not. So the common payment for the maintenance of the infrastructure, common infrastructure, has to be paid by the developer. So he has to account for that money also. So there should be a buffer's time called the void, during which all infrastructure related cost till the sale of the property or till the renting of the property is incomplete, is to be borne by the developer. So first portion, when you are initiating a project, it is called the lead in time. Then is the construction period, and then is the void period. So if you understand this, and you all know cost benefit method, and you have most of you have done fairly well in your mid-sem exams, so you can actually come down to the cost at T0. Now what will the developer look for? The developer will look for his profit. So when he is working out the entire thing, on top of it he will add his profit. Then he will find that to get back this money, if he is to invest this amount of money, he will get back this money against the construction cost, etc., whatever he has invested. He will look whether it is worth paying for that land or not. So suddenly if he jumps and buys a land, but he does not do this calculation, he may end up in a loss. So keeping that in mind, because this cost of land will also be a part of the component which he will be getting back from the people, the sale price. So his profit has to be considered, and then finally he has to come down. Okay, then I can buy this property, and because this is what I am going to get back in the long run, and yes, that will make my say 20% profit. Now this is when it is a totally private land, the entire property is private. So this profit margin will increase if his sale price per unit keeps on increasing, if he increases. But you have to remember, he has bought the property in the land where already a rate exists, sale rate or a rent value exists. So if he is actually knowing this price, he cannot go beyond that. So he has to work out on the present sale price of that particular area and his total construction and related costs at the present time, and look for what is the value of his property, value of the land which he can pay. So this is a method of back calculation of the land price, and then one can take a decision. This is called residual method of valuation. Now this is a totally private venture. When we are totally private venture, but when we look into now if we look into the other model, which is the public-private partnership, there we see that the government gives the land to the investor who can actually build up that land. So what happens there? The public enters with a negotiation or a venture with the private, and the public, that is the government, gives the land and makes some key points with the private, that you cannot make your profit beyond this. So, but what the private person gets? He gets the land free, and he has some terms and conditions to be obeyed. So that gives the private person to not to invest, that is the cost, in the cost benefit method. He is not putting cost on the land that is paid by the public against some terms, and this cost gets reduced from the private body. At the same time, he is only building up, so the construction cost is entirely by the private. And what could be the terms? The terms could be, you have to make 20% EWS housing or LIG housing, and you can make so many percent, 30% MIG housing and 50% HIG housing, 50% MIG housing and 30% HIG housing. So what will that private owner do? He will actually take more money from the HIG people or the MIG, little lesser than the HIG, but more money from the MIG people, and will give at cost to the EWS and LIG people to comply with the public to get the land free. So the public enters into a negotiation with the private, that is the joint venture, and they actually come into terms and do this. There what happens, actually the profit margin of the private is little questioned, or it is little less, but the private person or the developer does not need to invest anything on the land. Government, on the other hand, becomes pro people, that is, they are doing some social benefit, giving EWS and LIG some houses and creating some houses, and this method is also called cross subsidization, which you have already covered in housing classes. So this kind of venture is made. So there the residual method of valuation need not be done. If you see the points of this residual method of valuation, point wise it is written in Anya's in the notes in the mid-semester, the post-mid-semester notes, and you can see the profit of developer is little restricted, but the PPP model comes into existence, and now many of the housings of such order are where there is a large land which the government owns. Government enters into such kind of joint venture models.